Hi everybody, welcome to the Lexus Virtual Classroom. My name's Melissa O'Connell. I'm your Lexus Technology Specialist, and today we are exploring what's new and taking a deep dive tutorial on the RC. This is going to cover the RC model for 2021 and 2022 model years. There are some changes that begin in 2021, and then there aren't any major changes for 2022, except there's a new packaging option. So make sure if you have packaging questions that you reach out to your sales associate at your local Lexus dealer. But today, we are going to go through all the buttons, bells, and whistles that I have access to on the RCs at our dealership. I want to make sure that you know about the time-stamped index in the description below the video. It will allow you to click on a timestamp for a specific feature and then just jump through the video to that section. So if you're just wanting to explore certain items, just click on the timestamp and it'll take you there. If you'd like to watch the video straight through, go for it. And if you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to get back to you. Subscribe and then click the bell so that you can be notified when we release our tech tip videos. So come on, let's learn together. You'll see changes in packaging, color options, some performance updates for the RC300 rear-wheel drive. Now maximum horsepower is reached at 5,200 RPMs. Adaptive control added to the transmission automatically selects the best gear. RCF Sport models, the active sound control feature has clearer, more powerful sound. Fuel economy has been increased for the RC300 and 350. The fuel tank capacity has been increased from 17.4 gallons to 17.5. Heated electrochromic side view mirrors, blind spot monitor, and rear cross traffic alert are now standard equipment. Dynamic radar cruise control has been updated from high speed only to all speed radar cruise control. The electronic parking brake, it has an automatic feature and the brake hold functionality, and the footwell pedal has been removed. Let's take a closer look. The wider stance on the RC350, you'll see parking sensors located on the front corners of the bumper and integrated into the corners of the grille. Rear parking sensors located across the rear bumper and again on those corners so that you have accurate notifications from your parking sensor system. The Smart Access key has a button to lock, unlock, and power open the trunk. You also have a panic or an alarm button. If you're still using that to locate your vehicle in a parking place, make sure to change over to the Lexus app. The Lexus app has Lexus Enform Remote built right in. It even includes the ability to locate your vehicle in its last parking place. The Lexus Enform subscription service does rely on a cell signal to locate the vehicle, but once it's found it, just zoom in for more detail. As long as you have your Smart Access key on your person, it could be in your pocket or in a bag, you'll be able to lock and unlock the doors without having the key right in your hand. To lock, simply touch the indentation on either door handle. To unlock, just put your hand in the door handle and you'll hear it unlock the driver's door. If you're unlocking from the passenger door, it will unlock both doors at the same time. You can also customize the setting so that when you unlock the driver's door, it unlocks your entire RC. I'll show you how to customize that setting in just a little bit. When your RC is unlocked, so is your fuel door. Just push to open. You'll notice premium fuel only for the RC. And to protect your beautiful paint finish, it's always a good idea to use the support that holds your gas cap. Make sure to tighten until you hear one click. And if the fuel door has locked while you are gassing up, make sure that you're aware that you just need to unlock the vehicle so that it can close properly. Hand in the door handle to unlock, and the fuel door will click into place. Simply push and hold the trunk button and it will pop open. Taking a look inside the trunk, you'll see the front bracket for your front license plate. Make sure to hold on to that. You have a cargo net with a zip pouch for storage. You can just unhook at the top anchor points, and then you can roll it up and store it in the pouch. Zip it up, and then you can unhook it from the D-ring anchor points at the bottom of the trunk. You have plastic clips that attach to the metal D-ring anchor points. It's really important to remove these completely before you access the storage area so that you don't accidentally damage the clips for your cargo net. Also on the right hand side, you have a first aid kit. To access the spare tire, pop up the handle. Notice the hook that is on the other side and simply raise it up and hook it on, and then it will hold it in place for you so you can work underneath the storage area. The tools for changing a spare tire are nested right in. You also have an emergency towing eyelet if you were to need to tow the vehicle in an emergency. Typically, you want to have your vehicle towed on a flatbed by a professional tow truck driver. You also have the wheel lock key. This allows you to remove the locking lug nut when you change a tire. The wheel lock key should nest easily back into its place. Don't push down from the top, and if you're having trouble getting it to slide into place, just turn it so that you have a flat edge at the top and bottom. You'll see that there's an arrow pointing toward the back of the vehicle. Just tuck in the bottom of the wheel lock key and then slightly lift up and slide it into place. So if you try to push straight back, it's not going to nest correctly. Just tuck it at the angle, lift up, and slide it into place. You'll want to lift up and remove the plastic cover so that you have access to the jack and the space-saving spare. Nest everything back in place. Make sure to lift up on the hook so that you don't damage the seal for your trunk. Slide the cover back into place. Snap the handle back in, and then you can restore the cargo net. When you reinstall the cargo net, make sure that the pouch has the hook closest to the back of the vehicle. And then you'll be able to easily snap the hooks onto the D-ring anchors. And you're all set. Locking the rear seats from inside the trunk prevents the seats from being able to fold down.
The back seats of the RC fold flat. Make sure to lock them if you need to secure items in the trunk.
Unlock and lock. To lower the trunk, simply use the handle on the right-hand side. For easy access to the second row, simply pull the release and lean the seat forward. Then you'll notice that the seat will move all by itself so that you have access to the back row. If you've secured your seatbelt in the seatbelt holder, simply remove it before you move the seat for second row passengers. You have easy access to the back seat. When you're ready to put the front seat into its normal position, just push the seat back until it locks, and the seat will track back again to its original place. Just put the seat back in place. And the seat will restore to its previous position. Second row seats can be folded for additional cargo room. Right side seat is folded down in the exact same way. Just use the catch at the shoulder of the seat. When both seats are folded flat, you have quite a bit of cargo room. Both rear seats have anchor points for car seats for the lower latch anchors. Make sure to follow your car seat manufacturer's instructions for installation. The top anchor points are located behind each rear headrest. At the top of the headliner in the back seats, you have hooks for dry cleaning. Just push at the bottom to release. One of the first things to do in your new RC is to adjust your seat position. You want to make sure that you're in a comfortable and safe driving position. You can move the seat bottom forward and back, raise and lower the hip point, and raise and lower the front leg support. You can also adjust the seat back position with more recline or bring it more straight up and down depending on the type of driving you're doing and how much support you feel like you need. Your lumbar support is operated here. You'll feel the seat cushion move toward you or away. Notice that the lumbar control is not in this recessed housing. These seat adjustments can be saved to driver position memory, but the lumbar is separate. Our next step is to adjust the steering wheel. You can bring it up, down, toward you, and away. Then make your adjustments to your side mirrors. Select L for left, R for right, and use the touchpad to make your changes. Heated electrochromic side view mirrors are now standard equipment. Electrochromic just means they will automatically dim for you with oncoming light from the rear of the vehicle. The RC has programmable tilt and reverse side mirrors. This is something that you can choose to turn on or off. Let me show you how. Selecting either left or right will allow the mirrors to tilt and reverse. The amount of tilt is customizable. Simply put your RC in reverse and then make your adjustments to the angle of tilt. Let's choose the left mirror for demonstration purposes. I'm going to use the touchpad to make my adjustments. Perhaps I have a sprinkler system that I need to avoid. We can angle the mirror wherever we would prefer, then put the vehicle into park. And those settings have been memorized. To double check, go back to reverse, and you're done. To turn off the auto tilting feature, just make sure that there is no light selected. Come back to your mirrors, shift into reverse, and you'll see they stay in place. Once you have everything adjusted to your preferred position, push set, let it go, and push your driver number. You have 3 driving positions that can be memorized. When you turn off the RC, your steering wheel will tilt away.
And your seat will slide back as long as there's enough room based on your driver position memory. This is a customizable setting.
To make it easier to reach your seatbelt, I always recommend that you secure it in the seatbelt holder. Simply unsnap and slide it in where it's flush and flat. Then your seatbelt is right in easy reach every time you enter the vehicle. Moving down on the left side of your dash, you have your odometer and trip meter button. Just give a push to cycle through trip A, trip B, to have an indication of how many miles you have left before you need your next oil change, and then a blank screen cycling back to your odometer. If you're on trip A or trip B, you can push and hold to clear. You can increase or decrease the brightness of the lights on your gauges. Just push the up arrow to make it more bright and the down arrow to make it less bright. Looking at the buttons on the panel on the left side of the dash, you'll first see automatic high beams. Push that in. When you do, you'll see the auto high beam indicator light in green on the left-hand side of the dash. You no longer have to push the headlamp stalk forward into the high beam on position. Just by pushing the button, you've activated automatic high beams. And don't forget to keep your low beam set to auto, and then everything will come on or off automatically. If you have blank buttons, it just means that there are options that are not on the package that you have on your RC. The next is for active sound control. This is a dial that allows you to have more or less engine sound coming into the RC. If you turn it all the way up, it really enhances your drive experience. Beginning in 2021 on RCF Sport models, the active sound control feature has been revised for a clearer, more powerful sound. Beginning in 2021, blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert are standard equipment on all RC models. You want to make sure that you have a green light indicating that it's turned on. When you turn on the blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert button, you'll see an indicator light in your side mirrors and hear a tone. Rear cross traffic alert notifies you if someone is crossing at the rear of the vehicle while you're in reverse and backing up. Parking sensors are next. Just push to engage. And you'll see the green letter P on the right side of your instrument panel, letting you know that the parking sensors are turned on. Coming farther down, you have the power trunk opener and the manual release for the hood. The most obvious visible change is the introduction of an electronic parking brake. That means the footwell pedal has been removed, and to activate the new electronic parking brake, push down to apply the parking brake, push down and hold to activate auto. Apply the foot brake, lift up to release the parking brake, or lift up and hold to release the automatic shift link function. We're able to add the brake hold functionality. The brake hold feature is going to hold your foot brake when you've come to a complete stop. To use brake hold, do the following. Make sure your seatbelt is applied. Just give a push, and you'll see the hold icon in green on the right-hand side of your dash. Apply the foot brake and shift into drive. Now, if you come to a stop while the vehicle is in drive, you'll see Hold light up in gold. That means you can take your foot off of the foot brake and the vehicle will hold in place for you. Press again to turn the feature off, or it will turn off automatically when you turn off your RC. Headlamp controls are on the left side of the steering wheel. Make sure to have the indicator set for auto so that they turn on and off as needed. If you turn the dial to the bottom for DRL off, daytime running lights off, that actually means all of your headlamps are turned off. Auto, daytime running lights, low beam headlights turned on for manual. If you turn your low beam headlights on yourself, make sure to turn them to auto or off before you exit your vehicle. Windshield wipers are on the right side of the steering wheel. If you have the word auto, then you have rain sensing windshield wipers. You turn them on by pushing the button at the end of the stalk. When you turn them on, you'll see a green light by the word auto and a swipe of the wiper blades. You can adjust the sensitivity of the auto wipers with the dial. At the top, they're the most sensitive, taking the least amount of water to activate. The bottom will take the largest amount of water to activate. If you want to be in charge of your wipers, push the button to turn auto off, and then you can simply click down for low, down again for high. Push back up for low, and again for off. Pull the stalk to you to spray the front windshield. Notice the paddle shifters on either side of the steering wheel. The minus is for downshifting and the plus is for upshifting. You need to be in manual mode to paddle shift. For manual mode, apply the brake, shift to D for drive, and then just simply push the gear shift to the left. You'll see a light for M for manual. Notice you can also upshift and downshift right on the gearbox if you're in manual mode. Now, if you've accidentally shifted to manual mode and you want to go back to drive, you can do so at any time. Just shift to the right and you'll see the indication that you're in drive. You also have an indication on the dash, M for manual, and the gear number for which gear position the vehicle is in. Back to D for drive. Shifting up to park. Also inside the vehicle, there's a slight change to the steering wheel horn pad design. Let's take a look at the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. Plus and minus for more or less volume. Using the arrows, you can move up or down your radio presets. The mode button will change you from audio sources. Push and release for AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth, you name it. If you push and hold the mode button, it will pause or mute audio. Push and hold again to resume. Answer a call, hang up, or ignore a call and allow it to go directly to your voicemail. The talk button is for voice command. Moving to the right side of the steering wheel, we have buttons to control the multi-information display, our lane departure alert feature, and our following distance for radar cruise control. Let's take a deeper dive into all of these buttons. There are two different instrument panel layouts on the RC. This is the non-F Sport layout with two circular gauges and the multi-information display in the center. F Sport models will have a slightly different layout, but it's the same concept. It just has a different layout and style with title cards up at the top instead of menu icons. So notice that when I do move left or right, those same menu icons will appear. And after a few seconds, they'll clear just like they do on the non-F Sport version. The multi-information display is a looping menu. You can go left or right. When a slide bar is present on screen, you can move up or down for additional items. If you need to select something or change a setting, just use the dot button in the center of all 4 arrows. You'll also use your Go Back button to exit a menu or exit a message screen, like we're seeing here. Simply push the menu button to slide the bezel and access your multi-information display. Let's take a look at each menu item. The first item in the information menu will be the Drive Info 1 screen. You're going to see different fuel economy information on all of the drive information screens. Just press the down arrow for the second screen of drive information. Coming down again, we have an eco indicator, the turbo monitor, which is called the boost gauge, a G-force monitor, the gear position, and the sway warning. The sway warning is linked to your lane departure alert feature. If the vehicle has given you multiple corrections in a row, it's going to pop up a picture of a coffee cup and let you know that it might be time to take a rest. Your RC is concerned that you might be a fatigued driver. Arrowing down to the next screen for our tire pressure monitor. Arrowing down again, and we have a blank screen if that's your preference. And arrowing down one more time just loops us right back to the top of the drive information screen. Keep in mind that F Sport models do have a little bit of a different layout, and they can have some additional screens in the information menu and settings menu. If there's an item that you saw here that's not on your vehicle, not to worry. Make sure to get familiar with the items that you have, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll be glad to get back to you. Arrowing to the right for our compass, to the right again for a music summary screen, to the right again for our lane departure alert monitor. If you turn lane departure alert off or cruise control off, then it will show these icons with the message that it's off. When the item is turned on, you're going to see your lane monitor and have a pop-up message that the feature is accessed above 32 miles an hour. The lane markers will appear solid when lanes are being detected and hollow when they're not. When cruise control is turned on, you'll have a radar ready message, and as you toggle through your following distance, this is where you'll see the lines representing the buffer zone in front of your vehicle: long range, mid range, and close range. Just pressing that following distance button to customize. Arrowing to the right, and we have messages about service and even low fuel warnings. Arrowing to the right one last time for settings. Looking on the left-hand side of certain settings, you'll see icons that let you know that those settings work together. So your first 3, steering assist, the type of alert, and sensitivity for the alert, are all for your lane departure alert feature. We can turn on or off steering assist in our lane departure alert feature. We can customize the alert type for lane departure alert, an audible alert, or a steering wheel vibration alert. And lane departure alert customization sensitivity, high or standard. To change a setting selection, just highlight that setting and push the dot to toggle through your setting options. The next 2 items are about the pre-collision system, PCS. Pushing the dot, we can select to turn the pre-collision system off. It is going to give you a warning, not only as a pop-up on the multi-information display, but in bright orange on the right-hand side. If you look below the parking sensor icon, you'll see that the pre-collision system has been turned off. When you turn your vehicle off and back on, it's going to default that system back to on. We recommend that you leave pre-collision on, and if you'd like to customize something, you could try customizing the sensitivity. So highlight sensitivity and then just push the dot to toggle through the available settings of low, high, or the default, which is a mid-range of sensitivity. Arrowing down, you can customize the units of measurement for miles or kilometers. Highlight vehicle settings and push the dot to open the menu. Coming in for additional lane departure alert and sway warning sensitivity. You can set to turn the warning off or leave it on and customize the sensitivity, low, high, or standard. Notice that if you arrow down, it's just going to loop you back and forth. These are our only options in this particular setting. Now we want to use the Go Back button. That will take us to our previous screen. Arrowing down to Scheduled Maintenance or Oil Maintenance. Notice that you have two separate maintenance reminders. That's because you're going to have maintenance done every 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first, but you typically will only do an oil change every 10,000 miles. Each time that you have a maintenance performed, the technician will reset your maintenance reminder data. When you're finished on this menu item, just push the Go Back button to return to our main information screen, arrow down to Meter Settings, and push the dot to open. You can customize the display language from English, French, or Spanish. Again, you can have additional customization for units of measurement, and you can customize your drive information screens, Drive Info 1 and 2 for the F-Sport model, and Drive Information 1, 2, and 3 for the non-F-Sport model. To customize, highlight the item, push the dot to open, and then select the item that you would like to replace with additional information. For example, average fuel economy after reset. That's the information about the life of the car unless you've cleared it out and started over. Let's push the dot to open that item, and let's choose after refuel. This is a calculation that's going to happen automatically every time after you fill up the tank. If you'd like to see the change, push the Go Back arrow to exit out of the customization screen. Go back again to exit out of Meter Settings, arrow to the right to return to the main information screen, and we customized Drive Info 1. The second item is after refuel. If we come down to the Drive Information 2 screen, this is a screen that people very often like to customize because by default it comes with average speed information. Most people prefer to replace that information with another item. Let's do that. We're going to arrow to the left as a shortcut back to our settings, push the dot to open Meter Settings, and come down to Drive Info 2. Let's remove the average speed feature by highlighting and pressing the dot, and let's use a different item, like elapsed time. How long has the vehicle been on? Pushing Go Back to exit the customization menu, pushing Go Back again to exit Meter Settings, arrow to the right, and we have our new customization. We have our range showing how much fuel we have left on this tank of gas, and then we have our time, elapsed time after start. How long has the vehicle been running? This is great for trips if you need to remind yourself to get out of the car, walk around a bit, and take a break. Arrowing to the left to come back to our final items in Meter Settings. Highlight, push the dot to open, Come down to clock. You'll see that we have a 12-hour or 24-hour clock. Just push the dot to toggle through the options. Arrowing down for our pop-up display. These are all items that you can choose to pop up for additional information, navigation information, phone call, audio operation, volume changes, even the image that shows you adjusting the brightness for the lights on your gauges. Everything is turned on by default. Pushing go back, you can customize the color theme. You can choose to have your rev indicator on or off, and customize the rev setting based on RPMs. Just use the up or down arrows to make the change. Pushing go back again, and arrowing down to the rev peak indicator. You can have this on or off. You can choose to turn your eco indicator pop-up off if that's your preference. This is just going to pop up to tell you if you're driving in a fuel-efficient way. Arrowing down, and you can select to cancel all customizations if you'd like to start over. Arrowing down again, and you'll see that you've looped back to the top of the meter settings. Just push the Go Back button to exit. Arrow down, and you're right back at the top of your settings screen. Arrow to the right, and you're right back where we started in the information menu. To close the bezel, simply push the menu button. Take note, the item that's displayed here is from your Drive Info 1 top spot. So if you would prefer other metered information here, just make that customization. Push the menu button to open. Arrow to the left to shortcut to settings. Arrow up to shortcut to metered settings. Push the dot to open. Arrow down to Drive Info 1. Push the dot to open. Push the dot because I want to change the top spot from the current fuel economy bar type information to the range. Push the dot to select. Push the Go Back button. Push the Go Back button again to exit metered settings. Arrow to the right. Push the menu button to restore the bezel. And my range is right in front of me at all times. Our last button on the steering wheel is the following distance for radar cruise control. Dynamic radar cruise control has been updated from high speed to all speed cruise control. First, we need to turn on radar cruise control. To turn cruise control on or off, simply push the button in. Follow the arrows to set. You'll click down. If you have canceled by pulling it to you or tapping on the brake, you can push up to resume. You can also push up to increase speed and push down to decrease speed. Once you have your speed set where you would like to cruise, you can push your following distance. You'll notice the indication change on the dash. Long range, mid-range, close range. When you turn radar cruise control on, you'll have a green indicator on the dash showing a gauge with an arrow representing speed, a vehicle image representing the following distance or the buffer zone between you and the car in front of you. If you prefer to use traditional cruise control, no radar, instead of pushing in to turn cruise control on, push and hold. So you'll push and hold the button in, hold, you'll see radar come on, and then you'll see it change to speed only. This means you are completely in charge of braking. There will not be a monitored buffer zone between you and the vehicle in front of you. Moving up from the steering wheel, you have HomeLink to link garage door or gate operation to your rear view mirror buttons. This is also an auto dimming mirror so that when light is detected at the rear of the vehicle, the mirror will dim to prevent glare. Dome lights are just touch operated. They also have a door mode. Make sure that this button is pushed in flush so that lights turn on when you open the door and off when you close. Moonroof Operation. This will tilt the back of the roof just to let in some fresh air. Open and close on the right side. And then your Safety Connect, your SOS button. This is a subscription service.
Safety Connect is one of the many connected technologies that comes complimentary for a trial period with your new vehicle.
Moving down, climate control buttons are here. To adjust the temperature for the driver or the passenger, simply slide your finger along the electrostatic bar or tap on the up or down arrows to warm or cool your portion of the cabin. The same is true on the right side for the passenger. As soon as you start adjusting the passenger temperature, you'll see that the dual mode is turned on. That means we have two independent temperatures. To go back to a synced single temperature, just turn dual off, and the temperatures will sync to the driver's selection. Now, if the driver makes a change, it's going to be reflected on both sides. We can turn the fan into auto mode. That means the fan will adjust automatically based on the temperature selected for the interior of the vehicle and the temperature detected for the outside temperature. You can turn the entire climate control system off, less fan, more fan, where you want the air to flow. So this is the mode for the air. Right now it's on feet only. We can cycle through feet and defrost, face, face and feet, back to just feet again. Front defrost, rear defrost, and side mirror. This is great if you have condensation on your mirrors in the morning. Where the air is coming from. Is it recirculating air or outside air? Notice that you have an auto mode for this feature as well. That will allow the RC to determine if you need recirculating air or if it's okay to have outside air. There's a smog sensor on the car, and it's also speed sensitive. So if you're in traffic, it's going to default to recirculating air. The AC compressor can be turned on and off here. If you live somewhere with a lot of humidity, it is recommended to leave the AC compressor on, even if you are selecting a heated temperature. Then it's going to be able to pull the moisture out of the air. Since we've looked at the hard button controls for climate control, let's take a look at the soft button controls on the screen. You'll push Menu and then use your touchpad to select Climate. Notice that there are two shortcut items available. You can either select one of the shortcuts or click Climate to open up your entire climate screen. So you'll notice driver temperature, fan, airflow mode, passenger temperature. You'll also see that it says Setting right at the bottom with a double chevron icon. That is for an additional settings menu. It's available by pressing the double chevron icon button just below your touchpad. It will open all of these additional soft button items. Auto, climate control off, AC compressor on or off, dual mode, and eco heat and cool. Eco Heat and Cool is the only item in this additional settings menu that is not available as a hard button shortcut. These are our hard button shortcuts for climate control. Your hazard lights are located just below the climate control system. Hard button shortcuts for audio are here: power and volume, and the radio tuner dial. You do have a single feed CD changer. You can pause and play or eject. The radio button will open the radio screen, and the media button will open other audio sources on the screen, like Bluetooth audio or CD. Your arrows underneath the CD player will allow you to seek or advance tracks on a CD or with Bluetooth. These arrows won't move you through your radio presets. After learning about the hard button shortcuts for audio, let's push the menu button and take a look at the on-screen controls for the audio system. Once again, by sliding our finger along the touchpad, we can highlight audio and have some shortcuts right at the top. We could jump to AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth. All of our music mode sources are right across the top. But to open your full audio menu, just click down on audio. You have source right at the top, radio presets, 36 customizable presets. You can save stations in any order and from any source. You can use the tuner dial to turn until you have your selection, or you can use voice command. The first time you access voice command, you'll be given an opportunity to go through a voice training to train the system to your particular voice. You can also follow along with some video tutorials that are available for voice command on the RC. Simply push the talk button.
Before you start, consider viewing the available video tutorials or voice training functionality. Select the Do Not Tell Me Again option if you do not want this reminder again, or just push the talk button to continue. The tutorials and training will always be available from the voice settings menu.
So when you are ready, you'll select Don't Tell Me Again, and then you can push OK to continue. Some quick tips for voice command. The onboard voice command system is always push and release. Wait for the beep and give your command. If you'd like to cancel the voice command system, push and hold. Tune to 99.1.
99.1 FM.
Once you have a station playing that you would like to save, use your highlighter to move up or down the preset list. Pick your spot and push and hold. When you hear the beep, you'll see that the station that was playing has been saved to that preset spot. We can move to the next spot and make another selection. Again, either using the tuner dial or voice command. Tune to the bridge.
The bridge.
With satellite radio, you can say either the channel number or the channel name. Then simply select the preset position to save and push and hold. And then you can continue through your preset saves. Radio replay is kind of like DVR for your radio. If you receive a Bluetooth phone call that interrupts your radio broadcast, it's going to automatically start caching or saving your program. Notice that with satellite radio, it can save up to 1 hour, 60 minutes of time.
If you want to save it, just push pause. Keep in mind, this is not going to save permanently. This is just for this drive cycle. Once you have programming cached, you can rewind, fast forward, or even go live. If you look at radio replay for HD stations, you'll notice that you have 20 minutes. You can locate a station list for AM, FM, and satellite. This allows you to explore stations or channels of all different genres. Coming to options, you have the capability of customizing additional audio settings. Coming to sound, you can come in and adjust the treble, mid-range, and bass. Keep in mind that when you make this adjustment, you're adjusting it for the sound source that's currently playing. So if you listen to different types of programming on different sources, it's important to make this adjustment for each source. You can also customize the number of radio presets that you allow to show on the screen. I'll show you how to do that when we go into the main menu settings for audio. Coming down our center console, we have heat and fan for the driver's seat in 3 stages: high, medium, and low. Same for the fan: high, medium, low, and off. The steering wheel is heated as well. Passenger seat, heat, and fan. Our drive mode selector on this particular model has 5 modes. Turn to the left for Eco for a more fuel-efficient drive. Turn to the right for Sport. To the right again for Sport S Plus. Sport S Plus is going to be the most aggressive drive. If you've selected Sport S or Sport S Plus, when you turn the RC off, it's going to default to normal mode. Push down for normal mode if you're making the selection yourself. Push again for custom. To customize the settings for custom mode, simply select settings right on the screen, where we can select settings and make adjustments to powertrain for power, normal, or eco, the chassis feel for normal or sport, and do we want the climate system to operate in normal mode or eco. You'll also have indications on your gauge cluster. Turning to the left for eco mode, and in green you will see eco mode. It also has a darker lighting theme. Turning to the right for Sport S and Sport S Plus, you have a more dramatic white ring. Pushing down for normal, and then when you're in custom, it will say custom right on the display. Traction control on and off. If you turn traction control off, you'll have an indication on the dash. Snow mode is also indicated on the dash when it's turned on. Anytime we make selections on the screen, no matter what menu we're in, we're just moving our finger along the touchpad to highlight a particular spot, and then if we want to make a selection, we push down. So just moving our finger along the touchpad, the entire touchpad surface pushes down when you click. Let's go back to our main menu.
When we talk about our Bluetooth settings in just a moment, I'll show you how to pair a phone to the system. We also have another video example in the description below.
The Lexus Enform App Suite 2.0 is compatible with this vehicle. It will allow you to use features like iHeartRadio, Lexus plus Alexa, and even Wi-Fi. Projection represents the connection for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Come to Setup, select Projection Settings, and then choose the appropriate projection setting for your device. Turn that system on. Use your manufacturer-provided cord or a data-certified cord plugged in to USB.
We'll open the center armrest.
It will charge as well as run our device. You'll notice there's also an auxiliary port and a 12-volt charger. Notice that there is a spot for you to run your cord freely under the armrest so that it won't crimp your wire. Your next step is to plug in your iPhone. You're going to get some pop-ups about Apple CarPlay. Make sure to allow.
For more information about how to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in your Lexus, make sure to check out our Tech Tip Tuesday video tutorials listed in the description below, and you'll even see links above right here.
Coming back to our main menu, information. You have trip information, traffic incident information, and the most popular item, the weather. You have a current forecast, a 3-day projection. You can even click into a future date for more detail. A 6-hour and 12-hour breakdown of the day, previously checked locations, national and local locations, and everybody's favorite, the Doppler weather map. Woo! Look at that rain coming in. The weather information is provided through your HD signal, and it's powered by the Weather Channel. If you'd like to know how recently the information has been updated, simply look in the bottom right corner. This information was updated 10 minutes ago. Pushing the Go Back button, you would have a vehicle alert history as you have service alerts for your vehicle, and an electronic owner's manual. This is an excellent resource for exploring information about your new RC. You have videos available. You can even do a visual search. So if you're not sure of the name of the item that you're looking for, just click, is it on the exterior or the interior of the vehicle? Highlight a particular section and it will give you more information. Push Go Back to make a new selection. You could also do a keyword search and it will pull up a keyboard for you to type your selection or go through the table of contents. Once you start exploring in the menu, come back to select Top, and then you can push the Go Back button to escape out of the owner's manual. Let's go back and wrap up our main menu. We have 2 key items left. Destination for our navigation system that's on board the vehicle if you have the optional navigation system. And then our all-important setup menu. So let's first look at navigation. From the map screen, at the top left corner, we can change the view. We can tilt down for a 3-dimensional view, come back for a 2-dimensional north-up view. If you see the red in your compass, that means that north is going to be held at the top of the map. So as you turn, the map won't turn with you. If you prefer to have the map turn with you and face the direction that you're going to look more like a smartphone map, just click on the compass again so that you have selected direction up. The direction that you are heading will be at the top of the map. As you turn, the map will turn. To search, simply click on the magnifying glass. All of your search items will be available, including a Go Home shortcut. Now, of course, my favorite way to tell the car to take you home is with voice command. Simply push the talk button, wait for the beep, and give the command, Go Home. Notice that if we click on the search icon, you can use the voice command button right on the screen by clicking the microphone. You can tell it things like addresses or point of interest. But why take those extra steps? Just shortcut with voice command from any screen. Here's how. Get directions to Starbucks.
Showing results for Starbucks. Select the one you want. Say next page for more items.
Number 1.
To navigate to this point of interest, say go there.
Go there.
Starting guidance for a new route.
Nice and simple. Now, as you start to drive, the navigation system will begin giving directions. You could also press OK to launch.
Please proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
Once you're on your way, if you don't want guidance any longer, you can simply click the X or give the voice command, cancel route.
Route canceled.
If you're giving an address by voice command, make sure to say the entire address with city and state. Just leave out the zip code. Get directions to 24222 Interstate 45 North, Spring, Texas. So keep in mind that if you're using the native navigation system and voice command, you're going to click and release. If you have your compatible smartphone plugged in for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and you want to use those navigation system apps, you're going to push and hold the voice command button. Get directions to Target in the Woodlands, Texas using Waze. Also in search, you have Destination Assist. This is a subscription service that allows you to connect with a live operator to assist you with inputting your destination remotely. You can save favorite destinations. Recent destinations will appear here. Emergency destinations. And then if you flick to scroll down to the second page, you'll notice you have address searches, point of interest searches, and even contacts with addresses from your compatible smartphone. Now notice that address and point of interest can all be contained inside the main search menu. Notice that when you highlight destination in the main menu, you have an opportunity to shortcut to the search feature, Go Home, Recent Searches, Favorites, and Contacts with Addresses in your compatible smartphone. Coming along the left side of your map screen, you have Map Options. You can turn on and off point of interest icons, speed limit notifications for posted speeds that are viewable by the camera mounted up behind your rear view mirror. When the camera can detect speed limit signs, it will post them right on your map. Traffic information is very helpful. Those are the green, yellow, and red traffic flow lines that appear on your map screen. Route trace is the ability to leave little breadcrumbs. It leaves little red dots all along the map. It's very beneficial if you're in an area that isn't mapped well so that you can follow your path out. But when you're finished using route trace, you want to turn it off and typically erase. Open Map Options, come to Route Trace, and then when it asks you if you would like to keep what's been recorded, select No if you'd like to clear the map, and Yes if you would like to save. Map data gives you the information about the map version on your vehicle. Pushing the Go Back button or the Map button. Notice that you can use the plus or minus icons to zoom in or zoom out. You can also use the touchpad. Simply pinch your forefinger and thumb together to zoom out and pull them apart to zoom in. Here's how that looks. Zoom out, zoom in. Anytime you'd like to access the right side screen options, just use your highlighter with the icons on the right side of the screen. You have a small map, a music screen, trip information, climate control, and then the full screen icon. This full screen icon really comes in handy if you're driving with the map on the large or left side of the screen and you have something open on the right. Typically, people have their music selected and open on the right side. If you decide you want to go to full screen map, just click the full screen icon. The same is true for having your audio open. If you have your audio open and you want it on the large left side of the screen with a map showing on the right, you can easily take your audio full screen again just by clicking full screen icon. Let's come back to our main menu for our final item, Setup. When you press Setup, you'll immediately be entered into the General Settings menu. Clock is right at the top, where you can adjust your time zone. You can turn daylight saving on or off, or leave it in auto to auto-detect to change daylight saving, springing forward in the spring and falling back in the fall. Language. Again, selecting English, Spanish, or French. Coming down to display if you'd like to make changes to the contrast or brightness for the general view, the camera backup view, or turn the screen off. Pushing the Go Back button and flicking down. This is where our projection settings are that we saw just a moment ago. You can change the button color from blue to gold, your unit of temperature, units of measurement, an all-important auto change to screen. We used to call this auto screen change. So if you're in a vehicle where the screen repeatedly reverts back to the map and you don't like that, just turn auto change to screen off. This will allow you to select any screen and keep it on until you turn it off or choose something else. If you would like your system to default back to the map, turn Auto Change to Screen on. Let me show you how that works. We're going to turn Auto Change to Screen on. I'm going to push the map button to turn the map on. Then let's say I wanted to make a change to the audio system. I would turn on my audio screen arrow down perhaps to another radio preset, and after a short time of not adjusting the audio system, the map will restore. So if we did not want that to happen, we wanted to turn on audio and leave it on, for example, we'd just come back to Setup, scroll down until we see Auto Change to Screen and turn it off. Now, if we select audio, it's going to stay on audio until we push a button to turn on any other screen. Most people like to make a customization to something called feedback force. Feedback force is the pulsing sensation that you can feel underneath your finger as you move along the touchpad. If you don't want to feel pulses under your finger, turn feedback force off. If you'd like a slight pulse so that you know that you're on a clickable surface, select either 1, 2, or 3. You don't even have to push the Go Back button, just continue scrolling down. Cursor speed is something to adjust if you're having trouble using the touchpad. Make sure to click slow to slow down the feel and the pace of the highlighter moving across the screen. If you're doing fine with the touchpad, choose normal. If you'd like to speed up the response, choose fast. And then just keep scrolling if there are different items that you would like to explore and customize. To pair a compatible smartphone, open the Bluetooth settings menu. Follow the prompts on screen, and then start operating Bluetooth on your device. Open Settings, locate Bluetooth, and then when you see the vehicle device name appear on the screen, you can select it. Click right on Lexus RC. Click Pair, and then allow to have your contacts and call history transfer to the vehicle. If you already have the Lexus App Suite 2.0 on your phone, you'll see that it has already connected to your RC. To set up texting on an iPhone, make sure to confirm the notification setting. To turn texting on with an iPhone, come back to Settings, open the Information menu for the Lexus device. Show Notifications needs to be turned on. If you're in your RC, make sure to turn the vehicle off and back on to update your settings. Back to our main menu, let's go back to Setup and take a look at a really cool audio setting and select Radio. Here, you can come in and manage your number of radio presets. If you don't have a lot of stations to save, just click 6. But if you want to max out, keep it at 36. Lots of great options. Once you have a phone paired to the system, you'll have additional phone settings that you can customize. Coming into the voice setting, you can adjust the overall voice volume for navigation and the voice command system. Make your changes by clicking on the minus or the plus. Scrolling down to vehicle settings, you can make adjustments or customizations to your maintenance reminders, vehicle customization like door lock settings. This is where we would go if we wanted to allow the driver's door on the RC to unlock all doors instead of just the driver's door only. You can also make adjustments to climate settings, light settings, and other vehicle settings. Scrolling to the next page, we can come to navigation and set our Go Home shortcut. Keep in mind that it's important to choose a location that's close to home rather than your exact house, just for safety reasons, especially if you valet park your vehicle. Pushing the Go Back button. This is where you would come in to turn on your Wi-Fi hotspot and even customize the password. Inform App Suite data usage customization, traffic reporting customization, and data services. And that wraps up our settings. Notice that when you highlight destination in the main menu, you have an opportunity to shortcut to the search feature, go home, recent searches, favorites, and contacts with addresses in your compatible smartphone.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by the Lexus Virtual Classroom today. Hopefully that answers all of your questions and then some about the RC. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do so that you can be notified when we release our tech tip videos. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.